Happy June, you guys. I love June. June is honestly probably one of my favorite months of the year. I'm a little biased though. Aaron and I have 3 anniversaries in June. We've got the anniversary of the day we met, the day we got married, and then when we moved across the country from Seattle to Alabama. So June does have a special place in my heart, like anniversary wise. I also just love the first month of summer vibe. It's just always been a month that just brings so much excitement and anticipation. Can y'all hear Pippin? He's here. He's like, if you're here, you need to love me. Oh, buddy. I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I already love the month of June. And then on top of that, you add now having kids and all the first of summer things, and it's just a really special month. I really enjoy June in and of itself. Okay, I'm very sorry that I am a little behind. My desire is that these monthly intentions go up the 1st or around the 1st, but I was the last week of May was just a bit much. I had family coming from out of town and stayed with me. It was my son's birthday. There was a holiday somewhere and all of that. It's just, it just got a little chaotic for Sarah. So this past week, this first week of June, I have been catching up. I have caught up so much. I've posted 3 YouTube videos. Usually I only post 2 in a week. This week I posted 3 because I was like, I just got to get caught up. I have 2 videos for short form in the queue on Instagram. Other than that, I posted a few other things on Instagram that I wanted to get up. So it's just this was the week of catching up. So this coming week is the week of where I want to be, maintaining where I want to be. So anyway, this is me apologizing that I did not get this up sooner, but I still wanted to share my June intentions with you. I want you to set your June intentions because I feel like it's really important and it's just a great way to just really set the tone for the month. I have found that since I've been doing this, I started doing this, I think late summer last year, and I've really noticed a difference. It's just helped me kind of focus, decide where do I want to spend my energy? What do I want to focus on? What do I need to prioritize? Where do I need to refocus? And, where am I lacking? Where did I drop the ball this last month? All the things. So let's get into at least my intentions for June. Hopefully it inspires you. You can copy mine, you can create your own, whatever you'd like, but let's start talking about it. Start with my June intentions. So I've got this little graphic that I make my phone wallpaper, and it's just one of those multiple times a day I'm looking at it, I'm reminded oh yeah, this is the vision that I have for the month. Okay, so first of all is I want to continue my rich Bible study. This is an every month thing. If you follow me on any other social platform, you know that pretty much the very first photo usually involves some form of Bible study. But I'm currently going through the book of Genesis. I'm on chapter 15 of Genesis. If you know the Bible, Genesis is pretty big and parts of it are hard to understand. Right now I'm in the typical Bible stories that I just I know them, but I enjoy this Bible study's different perspective, and I'm really enjoying that. And I am making some notes. I've got a Bible journal, or I've got a journal Bible. There we go. I have a journal Bible that I gifted myself for Christmas, and so I am loving it, and I'm making all kinds of notes. And Genesis is kind of hard to make notes on on your own, so I appreciate having this Bible study to just give that different perspective, bring in some history. Who was Moses talking to? Moses was telling these stories to the Israelites, so this was a really big deal to them, and that's why he said it. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. So anyway, rich Bible study. We are continuing studying the book of Genesis. All right, nature ventures. It's in Alabama. We're ramping up in the heat. We are pretty much solid mid 80s, high 80s. Most days the humidity is definitely starting to set in, but we are at that point where it's not completely miserable to be outside. Give me late July, all of August, it's going to be miserable to be outside. So I'm kind of trying to get my what do we enjoy doing outside that doesn't involve water and get it done now. Because July and August, if I'm not in water, I'm not outside. It's pretty much what's going to end up happening. Okay, my massive summer TBR. We're going to talk about this here in a minute, but my summer to be read list is the biggest seasonal to be read list I have ever made. Usually I stick around 6 to 9 books, and this season I have 12. But I'm optimistic, so we're going to circle back to this. So just hold tight. All right, more coffee dates with friends. I don't need to be inspired to go get coffee. That's a thing. I work at a coffee shop, guys. I'm not spending money every single day on coffee. I either get it from my coffee shop or I make it at home. Okay, she's spending her money wisely, do not worry. However, I don't hang out with my friends. Like, I hang out with my friends with their kids. So our kids are playing. So it's like we're all hanging out. But you all know if you have kids, you get interrupted. You almost regularly forget what you were talking about. And I've noticed that, like, a couple of my friends, I've just been like, can we hang out? And I see them probably like 1 to 3 times a week. It kind of just depends on our schedule. And they're all like, yeah, that would be great. So I put coffee dates with friends because I feel like, you know, you can just have a coffee date and chit chat. But mainly it's to remind myself, like, I need to hang out with my friends by myself. We'll see if that happens. Okay. A summer of books for the kids. Oh my gosh. Okay. Again, another thing that I'm going to talk about, I'll circle back to it in a second, but this picture was just kind of to help me, like, remember, oh yeah, like, we're really focusing on reading this summer. Coming back to that. Okay, and then just the vibe, guys. Like the saying, the vibe, it's just the vibe of summer. Okay, it's fine. And I just wanted it there on my screensaver so that I would always see it. All right, let's talk about summer reading for moi. So yes, longest seasonal reading list I have ever made. I started reading The Summer of Yes. Really fun book. I feel like the books that I picked for summer are quick reads. Like, that was my intention. My intention was like the summer vibes, the beach reads. That was exactly what I wanted. I couldn't even tell you honestly how I found out about this book. It could have been Pinterest. It could have been Instagram. I really don't know how I found out about this book, but I'm really enjoying the story so far. I'm like 40-something% in, and we're starting to get to like the plot, and I'm pretty pumped about it because the plot sounds pretty fantastic. I'm not holding myself to it, but it's kind of like, hey, here's your TBR list. This was the menu you wanted to pick from this summer, but we'll see. We'll see how she does. But okay, on the other note of that, let's talk about the kids. So kids and homeschooling. I get asked a lot, do you guys do school year round? Do you do school in the summer? This is something that has constantly fluctuated with me. When I first started homeschooling, my oldest was in preschool. If you want to count that, that's fine. You know, I have never sent my kids to daycare or public school or any form of public education. So depends on when you want to say, like, I started homeschooling. I did preschool work with her, but most families do. Okay, so when we started homeschooling, preschool, kindergarten with my oldest, my answer was yes, we're going to be a school year-round family. I learned I'm not. I don't like that. I don't like being a school year-round family. I like the whimsy of summer. I like the, hey, it's 8 or 9 a.m. Let's go meet at the splash pad. I don't like being, oh no, we can't go to this, you know, summer program at the library because we have to do school. I don't like being that way, so I refuse to be that way. So we don't. However, last year I noticed a homeschool friend of ours, they do school year round. And in the summer, they're all like, oh, this is great, you know, because it's so hot outside. This is when we get a bulk of our school done. And then in the fall, we can be more relaxed, which I also agreed with. I was like, that's a really good point because I love being outside in the fall. However, again, just what works best for your family. I have learned what works best for my family is to still have some structure, but to also have a lot of freedom. This is what that looks like. It looks like having a loose plan, I can't even say curriculum, but just a loose plan, and then putting that plan into action when it fits within my schedule. This year, this is what this looks like. It looks like, for example, I said math. I told my kids, I was like, we're going to do math throughout the summer. We have not done math in over a week. And I'm okay with that. I feel absolutely no guilt. However, this summer, instead of doing a curriculum, like a unit study, last summer we studied ocean animals. It was so much fun. We did like 3 lessons a week. We did it in the afternoon when we had no plans. It was fantastic. I decided not to do that this year because I am so hyper-focused, you guys, that my kids are going to be strong, confident, independent readers. That's what we're focusing on this summer. Strong, confident, independent readers. So what that looks like is my kids are required to read every single day. Read out loud to me so that they are growing in their skills. What is so awesome is I'm capitalizing on like every single summer reading program known to man. Not really, but it's like we're doing a lot of them. And the kids are old enough now where like they find so much joy in that. They are also keeping track. We're reading it. They're writing the titles down on their own in their logs. There's a couple logs where it's like, well, a couple. There is one log where like I'm writing it down because it wants page numbers. So I'm keeping track of that for them. But other than that, like they're writing down the titles. They're choosing which books they want to read to me. It's a whole thing and I love it. But we are really focusing on being the strong, confident, independent readers, and then, you know, occasionally doing math. Again, in July and August, this is going to become a bigger deal where it's going to be too hot to go outside. So we'll do like our morning activity or whatever, have a slow morning, whatever we want that to look like. And then when it's too hot to go outside and we're like, we need to do something inside, or, you know, we just got nothing going on that day, that's when we will do like math or something a little bit more structured. But like reading, you can kind of slip that in anywhere. So anyway, that's working really well for us. Last but not least is the movie menu. So again, not everybody wants to watch movies in the summer. My sister-in-law is actually doing a screen-free summer, which I think is really awesome. So if you're not into movies or screens this summer, I fully support that. For those of you who do kind of want a summer movie menu to choose from, this is my selection. I did add to it from last year, moved a couple things around. I feel like every season I'm kind of adding and taking different movies, but there are a handful of movies on this list that my kids are excited and have been begging me to watch pretty much since April. So we're really pumped. This summer, I am also doing something a little different. Currently, we do pizza movie nights. So I make pizza for dinner and we watch the movie. Well, I'm not doing that for every movie this summer. This summer, there are some movies where I'm going to theme our dinner based off of the movie. So great example, Luca, they have pasta. We're gonna have pasta that night. Treasure Planet, we're probably gonna have like some sort of space themed food. There's a ton of beach movies and ocean movies, and there's only so much like fish you can eat. But you know, I'm sure one night we'll eat fish. One night I'll probably do sushi. One day it might not even be the meal. It might just be like, you know, I treat them with goldfish because that's a big treat in our house as a snack, or, you know, we do something, they get ice cream. I don't know, but I'm going to start doing this kind of like themed dinner, themed snack, themed something to go along with the movie this summer. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think that's going to be really fun. I also plan on introducing some new movies to my girls. They're getting a little older, especially my 9 and 8-year-old. I feel like we're just ready to watch a couple movies that I've been pulling back on, that I've been holding off on sharing with them solely for maturity's sake. What do I want to expose them to at X age, all the things. But this summer, I think we're going to start watching just a couple movies and just kind of add to them being big girls. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. She did it. Oh, praise God. That was so much emotional and mental energy to get this shot and everything like that. And I was like, this is going to be one of the easiest shoots I ever think. This is going to be one of the easiest things I ever shoot. What was that? Oh my gosh. Ugh, I'm getting bit by bugs. I hate the bugs of summer also. I'm sure they have a purpose. God will tell me when I get to heaven. He'll be like, yes, Sarah, the mosquitoes were for this. Let's have a fantastic summer. Let's have an intentional summer. And I'm so excited to do it alongside you. So I'll catch you in the next one, kid.